Looking at social media, I believe the reputation of the NHS is lower than whale excrement. The NHS has its priorities completely wrong. Waiting lists are longer than ever, and during lockdown, cancer patients were denied treatment, and many of these people sadly died. Now, people can blame the Tories all they want, but the truth of the matter is the Tories, like every other government, is sinking money, British taxpayers' money, into the NHS. And what does the NHS do with that money? Well, I'll tell you what. The NHS is pissing British taxpayers' money to the tune of millions on politically correct, inclusive, woke nonsense. I always thought that the premise of the NHS was to make people better. If there's something wrong with you, you go to an NHS hospital, they fix you, and you go home. And that's it. But recently the NHS has lost its way because it too is suffering from the cancer that is political correctness. Now, last month it posted on its website a list of its achievements. And the striking thing about this list of achievements has nothing in it that indicates it treated people. For example, as you can see, the headline here is "We Belong, Becoming a Truly Inclusive Organisation." Now, multiculturalism and diversity doesn't fix people, doesn't make people better. And I wonder if this is ever going to sink in with these idiots at the NHS. So, the accomplishments the NHS talks about is that it agreed protected time for 20 plus staff diversity network co-chairs, implemented senior manager appointment process with 178 trained inclusion ambassadors, increased diversity in senior leadership with BAME staff in band 8 plus roles increasing from 27.1% to 34%, awarded disability confidence leader status. Healthcare Horizons Community Works for Health, over 400 people were supported into employment. Over 1,000 people followed our Women in Leadership event, and we appointed new co-chairs and leads for our women's network. Commissioned a cultural intelligence programme with a goal to reach every member of staff, and improved our ranking in the Stonewall UK Workplace Equality Index to be in the top 200. Now, none of these things here, which they say they have accomplished, is to do with fixing people. None of these things here, which they say they have accomplished, is to do with making people better. All these accomplishments are box-ticking exercises because of political correctness, because of the woke mind virus. Now, the powers that be are pushing for yet another lockdown in the near future, and I promise you, the NHS will behave as it did during the last lockdown. They will tell us that hospitals are full of patients of that thing you're not meant to talk about, when in fact they won't be. They will tell us their nurses and doctors are overworked and swept off their feet due to impact of the illness we're not allowed to talk about. Of course, that will not be true, because they will do even more TikTok videos where they give us intricate practice dance routines in the middle of a so-called busy hospital. And just like the last lockdown, they will inform cancer patients they won't be allowed to treat them due to the illness we're not allowed to talk about. And just like the last time, these cancer patients will die. And all because there are people within the NHS who are mouthpieces and political activists with an extreme far-left agenda. So as far as I'm concerned, these 6 so-called achievements are nothing but a barrier preventing the treatment of illnesses and injuries. And I wonder how much all this cost the British taxpayer. What a shame the state of the NHS has become. I'm completely embarrassed by it. I really am. I mean, this is how much faith I have in the NHS. A family member needed specialised treatment recently, and I happily paid for this person to go private because waiting on the NHS would have taken years, because they're more concerned with this bullshit you see in front of your screen. And there we go, that's my video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next time, Roger Trout.